It's Live with Kelly and Michael. Today, recording artist, actress, superstar, Jennifer Lopez. And we'll get you on the road to happiness as we begin our Kickstart the New Year Wellness Edition. All next on Live. Now, here are Kelly Ripa and Michael Strahan.
January 19, 2015. It is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Yes.
The 50th anniversary of the Voters' Right Act, coincidentally, is also this year. Did you know that?
50 years already?
Yes, 50 years. 50 years. What's interesting is, you know, this movie, Selma, they're now they're organizing groups of students from my kids' schools to go and see it, which I think is so great. Such a great and unique opportunity.
Yeah. Because I think sometimes, you know, you kind of, people forget, and you just kind of move on, and you think, oh, things have changed so much, but there's still a long way to go. Let's not get that wrong. But you know, Dr. Martin Luther King stepped up, was the face, and really did a lot for everybody, obviously. And why are we here working?
Yes.
Entertain America.
Entertain America.
That's right.
I could have entertained myself right at home. And everybody here could have too. But yeah, happy MLK Day, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy MLK Day. And if you haven't seen Selma, if you haven't seen the movie, do go out and see it. It's an incredible movie, really, really great movie. I'm glad they made it, and they did Team Selma did a great job with it.
I've got to tell you, I wholly agree, and I think that I think the entire movie is so. It's so important for kids to see, because learning about it in a school book is one thing. It's one thing, but to actually have like sort of a visual reference, because kids really respond to visual references, I find sometimes. And you know, we always talk about Dr. Martin Luther King in reference to other people and into other parts of time, and this really focuses on the man and his legacy and
what a specific event,
and specific event and how voting is something that was a hard fought for privilege, and a lot of people don't take advantage of it. And when you see how hard people who had the right to vote fought to really get the right to vote.
A lot of people died to get this, so others could have the right to vote. And
we're beaten to death.
Yes.
I mean, so think about that, you know.
More than worth it.
And I recognize
Now, I know, you know, everybody's like, why weren't we holding hands? We were elbowing it. Why? No. I'm like that because I was scared last night when I was getting ready to fly back here from Seattle, and I got a text from Gelman saying that Kelly may not come in tomorrow.
I got the funk.
Because you got the funk.
I got the funk.
I've never heard it said like that. I got the funk. Usually you got the funk, you're like dancing to that J-Lo song that was on earlier.
I got the funk. I got the funk. See, I'll tell you when it started. I'm not blaming you, but I'm going to tell you when it started.
Wasn't me.
You texted me. Remember you texted me Friday morning? And I answered the text and I went, ow, my neck hurts. And I thought my neck hurt from just like looking down at the screen, and then it went into my. And you know how things move fastly when you get the funk. And I went from going, my neck hurts, to my entire body aching, to me canceling my workout. Now, when I cancel the workout, you call the morgue. Don't even bother with 911 because something rotten is in Denmark. Okay? So I went to bed. I went to bed for the next 48 hours. I never got out of bed. The only time the lights or the TV went on was when Mark ran into the bedroom Saturday night and he says, Albert's on the phone. He says, turn on Lifetime. It's an emergency.
Oh,
And he wanted me
Albert
to
was watching the Whitney Houston.
He wanted,
I ain't gonna lie, I was with Albert. I'm in a hotel room glued watching Whitney Houston.
Turn it on. It's an emergency. So I'm like, so from my deathbed, I turn on the, and I will say I did take a moment of entertainment for myself, and
Yeah.
I watched Whitney, but
Well, you kind of scared when you said you had the funk.
The funk.
And then you talk about my neck. I thought that song, my neck, my back. That's how my mind's not thinking. I'm just saying. But
no, it's not that. It's not that kind of funk at all.
But so you subsided in the funk.
So then
for the Whitney Houston movie.
But then it's like, when do you call Gelman? When do we call Dr. Gelman and tell him I'm not coming into work? So Mark came into work with me just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case, like to fill in, because I wasn't sure. But I've been on Tamiflu for 2 days now, so I'm like,
and I had a quandary.
I know. You were in a
conundrum, quagmire, whatever you want to call this thing. Because I'm up this morning and I'm thinking to myself, if Kelly's not here and I have to go out with Mark, how do we walk out? Do I pull his? Do I hold his hand?
Have you seen Mark?
Do I pull his chair out?
Piggyback?
Have you seen him right now?
We ain't piggybacking, Gelman. We're not piggybacking. Have I seen him?
Have you seen him?
I just saw him. I love the
like,
new haircut.
He looks like a maniac. He looks absolutely.
I think he looks great. I love the new haircut. It looks great on him. Mark is a guy who can pull off anything.
I'm just gonna say it's for a role if you see him. But if you, I noticed he did it last week, and I noticed that when we walked down the street together, women clutched their purses tight to their back. Not kidding. He looks very intimidating with his new haircut. Kind of like a pirate. Kind of looks like a pirate.
I like it. I like it. But let me tell you what. Feel better. Feel better. Feel better. That's the number one thing.
I feel better already.
Do not kill yourself for this job, okay?
No.
Don't kill yourself for any job, because if you're dead, there's no job. So feel better.
Listen,
we'll be here when you get back.
I'm all about containment, and if I wasn't taking the anti-funk, if I wasn't taking the medicine, I wouldn't be here, and I'm very, fastidious about washing hands and not spread. I'm trying not to spread. And so if I don't go out and hug each and every one of you today, you'll understand why. Right?
Well, I'll tell you what, if Mark has to be here, me and that maniac husband of yours will hold it down until you get back. Just want you to know.
I would like to see the visual of the two of you together. That would.
Walking out holding hands. Here, Mark, look where you see that.
I would get a second phone call from Albert. Turn on ABC, it's an emergency.
Feel better, feel better. And I'm sorry you lost your whole weekend over this thing.
Listen,
now,
you know what, though? I have to say that, the man upstairs is so good to me, because if you're going to get sick like that, imagine if, you get sick like that on a Monday.
Yeah.
Then the whole week is gone. Instead, it was just the weekend.
So, you're right. The man upstairs is amazing. We're all here, right? That's right. Amen. And the man upstairs is very amazing, too, if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan. I'll tell you what.
No, wait. Was there a football game?
Yeah. There were 2 games yesterday. Now, there were 2 games. The second game was the Patriots and the Colts. I don't know how much of that you want to call a game, because the Patriots blew them out. Tom Brady is going back to the Super Bowl, everybody. The Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl. And I was thinking about this. This is like his 6th Super Bowl. Tom Brady's gone to 6 Super Bowls. as a starting quarterback. I don't know if there's any quarterback who's ever done that, but there are only two, Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw, who works with me at Fox, who have actually won 4. So Brady has won 3. For him, this is big because he's already a Hall of Famer, but this puts him in, it's only be 3 guys who've ever done what he has an opportunity to do in a few weeks. So congratulations to the Patriots.
And he's married to Gisele Bündchen.
Yeah. He's married to Gisele. I mean, the guy has a life. He's a quarterback.
Do you think there's anything wrong with him? Like, do you think does he have like bad, ugly feet?
Well, it's so funny. We had one of, Carissa Thompson did an interview with Rob Gronkowski, the tight end for the Patriots yesterday for the show. And they asked him about Brady. He said he does not shower after every practice.
Oh.
And
so he's dirty.
I don't know if he was joking or not. But I don't think he's dirty. He never smelled when I've been around him. And he and I have been really close.
What about when you tackled him?
When I tackled him, he's got a little sweat on him. What does he smell like?
Yeah, does he?
Dandelions.
That is like the most random.
My mind works in random ways. But congrats, he's a sweetheart of a guy, great guy. She's a great girl. And congratulations to him for going back. And then the game yesterday. This is the game we did with Seahawks and the Packers, right? So the Seahawks is very hard to win at home against, to beat them at home. Because the crowd is I know everybody in Minnesota, wherever said they had the loudest crowd. They had an event to try to outdo. Kansas City had an event to outdo how loud it was in Seattle, and they did it for 1 week. But consistently, Seattle's the loudest place you'll ever go. And, but Seattle, they were getting their butts whipped. 16-0 at halftime. Russell Wilson, the quarterback, looked like he was, Rusty Wilson. He was all over the place. Then all of a sudden, at the last 5 minutes of this game, Kelly, the most miraculous comeback in probably the history of football, especially in a game of that magnitude, and they came back and won it in overtime, 28-22. So the Seattle Seahawks are going to back-to-back Super Bowls.
What happened to Wisconsin?
Well, it's like they just took their foot off the gas pedal. Like they had opportunities to close the game out, and then they just looked like everybody started thinking about being at the Super Bowl instead of finishing this game. And they had an onside kick, which I know you know exactly what that is.
I actually do. I do know what an onside kick is, and I often wonder what the heck is the point of that, because I've never seen one go right.
Well,
every time they do an onside kick, it's a disaster.
It went right yesterday. It was a disaster for the Packers. But the guy who was supposed to catch it, he was waiting for the ball, and another guy jumped in there who was supposed to be blocking instead, and it hit him in the face because he wasn't coordinated enough to catch it.
And was that pass interference?
No, it wasn't pass interference. Okay, we just gonna move on. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots for going to the Super Bowl.
I do like the fact, though, that was it the mayor of Seattle said that nobody could eat cheese for the. Did you see that?
Oh, you know everybody broke that rule.
No, he said no cheese. I was like, what about the nachos? How are people
I was at a bar Saturday and Saturday. I saw people eating cheese all over the place.
Well, he banned cheese from the state. It was all over the news.
He banned cheese from the state.
Yeah, banned
He should have banned all that rain that was coming down, too. That would have been nice. Banned cheese from the state. But it was a great game. It really was incredible. Congratulations to both teams.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Now listen. Any moms here to teenage daughters? Any of the teenage daughters here, or any of the daughters here? Yeah. Okay. So how many of you are mean girls? Any Regina Georges? Regina George? No, nobody.
The moms are like, no, not my baby.
Not my daughter, not my baby. Anyway, so they're saying, guess what, y'all? It doesn't end when you're a teenager. It doesn't end when you're a middle-aged woman, and it doesn't end when you're in a retirement home. There are mean girls in retirement. That's right. Yeah.
That's a shame.
I don't know. I'm one of those people, and I think my daughter's the same way. Like, I wouldn't know. I'm not in tune enough to know if somebody's being nasty to me. I don't know if, like, I just don't check in with that stuff. Like, if somebody's being nasty to me. Because somebody, once in a while, I'll be out and somebody will say, well, that was kind of rude. And I'll say, it was? Because it goes completely over my head. Maybe I'm in my own world. And maybe that's why I'll be perfect for one of these mean girl retirement homes. Because I'm a
So what
I'm
are
a
they
neutral
doing at the
girl.
retirement home as a mean girl? You like pushing somebody's walker out the way?
I'm going to tell you, 1 in 5 residents.
In the chair and you just push them down the hall.
Well, you know, first of all, these retirement homes, it's all girls because the guys, like, they die
First of all,
way ahead of us. So
I'll
it's
tell
like,
you what, you go to some of these homes, some of these guys aren't dying, they're taking care of some of those girls, okay? So, we all ain't dead.
guess what?
We all are not dead.
guess what? It will kill him because it's one guy to 37 women. He will
If
die
you gonna
eventually.
go out, that's the perfect
Yeah.
way. It's like The Bachelor.
Listen, let
It's
me
like
get
being
to
on The Bachelor when you're in your 80s and 90s.
This is a New York Times article, okay? So we know it's true. 1 in 5 residents in a retirement home were involved in at least one negative and aggressive encounter with another resident during a 4-week period. 16% were cursed or yelled at. 6%. This is a retirement home for women, people. Listen, they were hit, kicked, or bitten. This is incredible. I don't know why. I shouldn't be laughing because it's not funny, but there is something funny that we as women still refuse to not turn on each other, even when we're about to meet the maker. 10.5% dealt with other residents entering their rooms uninvited or rummaging through their belongings. That doesn't necessarily mean you're mean. That could mean that you know, you're just looking for, you know.
You're a thief. That's what that could mean.
You needed, maybe they needed an extra tampon or something, Gelman. You never know.
In a retirement home? I may not know biology, but I know better than that.
It's really interesting. Really interesting. Stop the nosebleed.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. All right.
So what's the deal with the wheel?
I don't know. It's a little buggy today. It may have a little
It
virus
seems
too.
like it's
kind of all halfway
it's
in
just
between.
sort of.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go.
I know,
for the
but I
wheel.
see that you got the fishbowl here in case the wheel malfunctions.
Yes.
But there looks like there's 4 numbers in the fishbowl.
No, it's not for a number. It's for the prize.
Those are
That's for the
prizes
for something.
that we're gonna randomly pick if the wheel doesn't work.
Oh, I see.
Amateur has had an effect.
Got it.
Can I tell you something? I don't. So, Gel, everybody here knows this. I don't take medicine ever, ever, ever. So when I take it, it has an only negative reaction to me. Like I act weird and drugged out. And I'm not kidding. I took 2 Advil on Saturday night. You would have thought I had taken, I don't know,
Crack.
crystal meth. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
like a wackadoo. Yeah, it has a profound effect because I
Wow.
never take anything.
Careful.
Anyway,
Well, before we get to that, I want to say the congratulations to our friend Bradley Cooper, who was here. The American Sniper made $90.2 million over the weekend.
do you think Bradley gets like half of that?
No, he won't get half of that, but Bradley Cooper, I have a feeling, is doing pretty well. And I want to go see him. I want to go see him in The Elephant Man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
My
And,
friends just went to see him and said he's incredible in it.
Yeah, I got to go check that out. And also, The Wedding Ringer came in second with $21 million. Congratulations to Kevin Hart. It's awesome. But that big $90.2 million, wow, man. Know what I could do with that?
What could you do with it?
I don't know if you'd be asking me that because I don't think I'd be here. I'm joking. I
You
would
mean
be
you
here.
quit one of your day jobs?
You know what? I just lost a job. Football season is over. I just lost a job. I have weekends now. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
I know.
All right. All right, everybody. It's time to kick this party off. It's time for our Winter Gone Wild Travel Trivia.
love the bow tie. It's so good. So good.
Kyle hit a few moves that, I mean, kind of
That's great.
scared me. I was like, you brought them elbows together like real strong. Okay, way to do it. Great job, Kyle. Great job.
Thank you.
And let's say hello to Linda Fay from Roscommon, Michigan. Hello, Linda. How are you?
Hi, Michael. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Linda. I like your friend at your feet there.
Oh, thanks. I was helping him cross the road in St. Martin.
So you got a knee brace on. I don't know, football injury? What's going on?
No, it's just an old sports injury. I had meniscus tear years ago, and I brace it up when I walk a lot of miles.
Wow.
Yeah, stay in shape.
A lot of people get meniscus tears.
Yeah, it's kind of common. Now, Linda, what do you do for a living?
Lately I've been just spending time.
But this never happens around here. We never have a house band. We have one tomorrow, and it's New Kids on the Block.
T. Gelman, we're all fired up.
Good. We should sing out our first guest. Here comes a mega superstar. When I look at her, it's like looking in a mirror. Why is that funny? She's an actress, a singer, a dancer, a producer, a fashion mogul. She's my spirit animal. Please welcome the gorgeous Jennifer Lopez.
Have you seen her on the disco? Shake the ball, shake the ball, that's the lightning and the thunder. Made up, you wanna touch her? See the light, you wanna make me wonder.
Where am I going coordinating? Oh my God. How are you? Oh, you smell yummy.
It's very...
All of it. It's all so good.
I do it for you.
I know
I do it for you, Kelly.
You know that nobody appreciates it more than
I
me.
know, that's why I do it.
I'm telling you, I'm obsessed from head to toe with all of it.
Thank you.
Well, you do it for Kelly, but I'll enjoy it too.
Okay. you can have some. It's okay.
Oh, and I tell you, come right here to that song, Big Booty.
Was that just played?
Yeah, that's what we're playing.
You didn't hear your own song?
I didn't.
It's a good one.
I didn't. I was just, high-fiving everybody, and that's it.
Well, but everybody's still talking about the way you looked at the Golden Globes. And we got this picture from your Instagram. Look at that.
I have to say, that was like my most glamazon moment ever in my life, wearing that 700-pound cape.
Is that true?
That almost dislocated my shoulder. It was so heavy.
It looked
but
so effortless.
I was like,
It looks like you woke up like
nobody's
that.
going to know how much pain I'm in.
No, so teach us. No, I've never once, ever seen a bad picture of you.
That is not true.
No, I have never. And your face is so good. It is
Thank
like
you. Thank you.
It's like I hate this, but I own it, and
Yeah.
it's like disdain yet sexual disdain.
No.
How do you like?
I
it's like-
don't hate it at all.
No, but I mean, it's
I
like-
love it a little too much. You know what I mean? In other words, like, I love dressing up. I'm such a girly girl. Like, I feel like I'm the Barbie, and they're like doing my hair and my makeup, and I'm like, and they help me put my shoes on. It's such, I was saying this, I was flying here yesterday, and I was driving to the airport, and it's still in my mind. I can't believe sometimes what my life is. Do you know what I mean? I'm so like, okay, right, I'm going to New York. I'm going to be on, Kelly and Michael. It's still amazing to me. And in those moments where I get to dress up like a princess and be on a red carpet and people want my picture, I'm still like, I still get like,
But
what
you
the
can
hell?
control. What I'm saying is, you can control yourself. Like most people would be on the red carpet like this.
Yeah. That's me on the inside.
How do you do that?
That's me on the inside. Me on the outside. Like,
yeah, no.
But
how do
the
do
thing is,
that?
though, but because of that, I think it comes through. Your enthusiasm before it and your appreciation for it,
Yeah.
and the fact you're not jaded by it comes through. That's why people love
and
you.
I appreciate I put effort into it, and that doesn't take 2 minutes. That took
1
some
minute.
time.
Because you wake up looking like that, girl. You wake up looking like that. 15 minutes. We got to take a good break. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out why
Or
Jennifer...
anything, because we always talk about twins and they can like almost communicate without saying anything.
I don't know. I don't know. They're definitely close. They're like a young married couple that's very functional. Do you know what I mean? Like they have moments where they like get on each other's nerves, but then it's like super loving, and they're always talking to each other. It's like, yes, Max. You know, Emmy, can I use, you know, your iPad? Of course, you know, and it's like very...
Really?
Yeah, they're loving to each other. It's really nice.
My 10-year-old twin girls, you give them 3 more years, they won't be sharing anything.
Oh, God, I know.
Oh, man.
No, listen, I am dreading the preteen years in a way that, because people say things like that all the time, they're like, nightmare. I'm like,
Well, I'm going to tell you
I'm
what's going to happen.
wake up in the middle of the night. No, they're
12, 13, because I only know this. I have a couple of girlfriends that have twins, a boy and a girl. 12 or 13, the boy becomes like he's 4 and the girl becomes like she's 37. And you go, what the heck?
That's
They're
funny.
the same age.
That's
what
funny.
just happened here?
Well, my daughter seems very grown already, and my son is like, Mommy, you know, still. So, which I love.
Yeah.
Which I hope never changes.
Because all of us boys are so innocent throughout our entire lives.
Oh, God. Hold on. Let me just stop you right there.
He's shedding a tear for his innocence.
Yes, that has been gone.
I'm just thinking about my mommy right now.
Now, what is a whip? What's a whip?
A whip, I say I'm a whip. I say I'm a work in progress. You know, I wrote a book last year called... Yes, that's it. Thank you. It's called True Love, and it was about kind of like after I divorced. And actually, I talked a little bit about the divorce, too, in it. But it was about the first time I went on a world tour. And through the backdrop of that, everything I learned during that time, being a single mom for the first time, going on the road, all of that stuff. And it's about the things that I learned, the lessons that I learned at the time about loving yourself and what I had been doing wrong in my relationships. Like, it's not other people, it's always you. Something you can be doing better, something that you need to know about yourself. We have our own patterns, things like that. It was just a growing time for me. It was 2 years that I really finally grew up, I felt like. And so I wrote about it, and I did an HBO documentary about it. It was a time that really affected me. And I always say, you know, people go, oh, so they think you have all the answers, and I always go, no, I don't have any. I don't claim to have all the answers. I'm a work in progress. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And
I think you're very inspirational. And you're really, and I have to say, you appear to me really brave. Do you ever get scared?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah, and I do. I almost feel like when I get scared is when I have to forge ahead, because I refuse to let my life become that. You know what I mean? Because it's so easy to kind of get caught up in our fears and in our mind all the time. And I'm just like, no. That's not going to be me. That's not going to be me. I'm not going to be afraid. You know? It's a thriller. Like one of those movies that you're like, yeah, like, what's going to happen next? It's fun.
But you don't only star in it, you produce it too.
I did produce it. And it was funny because I never produced a movie like this. I started producing a few years ago, and it's been great. We have The Fosters, which premieres tomorrow night. We have, you know, a few shows on TV that are really fun. I've done a movie, but this was the first movie we did on like what we call a micro budget. I don't know, you guys know how much movies cost. They can be like 20, 30, 40, 50 million, 60 million, up to $100 million. We did this movie with $4 million. Yeah. Thank you. In 20... If you were there, you would really get it. Like,
I read her lips. She said they were balling on the budget. That was funny.
That is really funny.
But we did it, you know, which means we had a really short schedule. We had 23 days to shoot the whole film. It was challenging. Usually it takes like 3 or 4 months, sometimes 5 months to shoot a film.
Now, I remember when you were casting your video and you sat in on the casting of the guys. Remember the hot guys for I Love You, Poppy?
Yeah.
So did you sit in on the casting for this?
No, I had to read with a lot of actors for this role. This is not an easy role for even a very experienced actor. And we had to, you know, he had to be young. He had to be believable, to be almost in high school or whatever, just out of high school. And I read with a lot of people. And Ryan Guzman is his name, who's in the movie. really amazing in the movie. He goes from being the boy next door to something unimaginable.
Right.
And he did a great job. And he won it with his talent, with his charisma, with the chemistry between us. It was great.
Well, there was a lot of chemistry. I mean, there's a very, very, very hot sex scene in this film. And I have a question.
Yes.
And I'm not even going to. It was all you. That was all you in that scene.
Yes.
What made you just go for it like that? Just,
You know, I know everybody just thinks of it as a sex scene. But
no, I'm not thinking. I'm thinking of it as a
not you.
I don't know what I'm thinking, J-Lo. I don't know what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking.
It's an intense scene. It's an intense scene, and the reason is because the whole movie is about the moment that they share together, and that's the moment that they share together. It's the one night that they spend together, and it had to be enough to propel the rest of the action of the film.
I couldn't even look you in the face when you said that. I'm sorry. I had to turn away.
Anyway,
This guy, he's filming this scene, must have felt like he hit the jackpot.
By the way, these things are so crazy in a way you will never understand until you have to do it one day. It's a bizarre, awkward, awful.
No, I know it is for you. I'm saying he must have been like, I hit the jackpot.
but it's also like you're laughing through it too, because it's so, like, it's not normal. You know what I mean? But
You mean with the
it's
sound
part
guy
of it.
here with the mic
Yeah, you know it's part of it as an actress. It happens all the time. I've done love scenes that, you know, you do 30-something movies, you do love scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it never feels like, it always feels like the first time.
Hey, I don't mind that whatsoever. We're going to take a look at a clip, right? We're going to take a look at a clip. And in this clip, you're telling the boy next door, who's played by Ryan Guzman, about a really bad date. Whew, watching this will be like the first time. Here's Jennifer Lopez in The Boy Next Door. The movie is The Boy Next Door. It opens on Friday. Make sure you check it out. The multi-talented, the beautiful Jennifer Lopez, everybody.
And coming up next, the guide to happiness. We're going to show you how to be happy when we return.
Tomorrow on Live, from Orange is the New Black, Taylor Schilling.
Look who's excited for Live.
And the best-selling author of The Happiness Advantage, please welcome Sean Achor. Hi. Thank you for being here. You know, I've got to tell you, I found this book enormously helpful, and I didn't even get to read the whole book yet, but I found it very, very helpful. So what are the habits that can make us happy?
Well, I think one of the things, so I've, over the past 7 years, traveled to 51 countries trying to understand happiness. And what we realized was that we were trying to do a scientific approach to it. And what we found was you can actually choose happiness. Scientifically, happiness could be a choice, but it's something you have to practice. It's amazing that happiness could actually be a choice. Because so many people think that I can't be happy because of something that's going on in the world or something that's going on in my life, or I can't be happy because of my genes or how I was raised. And what we found is at any point in your life, you can actually change your levels of happiness. From age 4, you can practice this up to age 84.
What are some of the steps to do that?
So that's what we're actually going to do. We've got some circles here, some happiness circles on the floor.
Is this our yellow brick road?
It's a yellow brick road to happiness. And what we're going to talk about and actually have you do is some of these experiments of how we can actually create greater levels of happiness. So the first one, the first happiness habit that we're going to talk about is how to send, we just call it a send appreciation. It's very simple. What we've been doing out in the world is we've had people for 2 minutes a day, each day, think of one person that they want to send appreciation to. You can send it an email, a text message, Facebook, Twitter, however you want to send it. You can tweet. So as you tweet it right now, but what we found is that if you write to somebody, tell them why they're meaningful or some sort of appreciation, not only do you get great emails and tweets back from them, but you actually start to get addicted to it.
What if I tell my husband I appreciate him taking care of me all weekend? That work?
That's wonderful.
Well, I just tweeted something out to everybody out there. We're going to come back. We're going to have more Keys to Happiness with Sean Achor. So
check that out tomorrow. Anne Hathaway will be here.
Taylor Schilling's here.